Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. I really respect your time, and I know the value of the information that you're seeking. I am in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting KUHN Chevrolet, and I'm checking out a 2016 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS, which is it's just an amazing muscle car. They did an amazing job with the design, the sound, the feel. Everything about this vehicle is just blowing my mind. So this vehicle is fresh off the truck. It hasn't even been washed yet, and the reason why is because they keep selling. So for me to be able to do a video, I have to squeeze it in when I can. So if you'll excuse the condition of the vehicle, hopefully you can overlook that. So the wheels on this vehicle are 20-inch bright silver alloy wheels, and they look absolutely stunning. They don't look cheesy. They look just very sporty, eye-catchy, and classy. Now the tires are Goodyear Eagles in a run-flat design, and you have four-wheel disc brakes, and the front and rear disc brakes are ventilated. So typically you would have, in just a regular car, ventilated front discs and solid disc in the back. But as you can see, hopefully, in the back, you can see those are ventilated as well. You also have the best brake caliper in the world, and that is the Brembo brake caliper. These are high-performance brake calipers, and it has a 4-piston brake caliper on the front and the back. Okay, so let's take a look here on the front. It has HID projector headlights with the LED accents and LED daytime running lights down here at the bottom. Everything about this vehicle is stunning, including the front end. Look at that. Just amazing design there. You have the air inlets here in the hood. Just overall, I am impressed. So this is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key, and it feels really solid. It's one thing about this key compared to other key fobs. This one just feels like a really solid chunk of quality. I don't know how to explain it, but it has the lock and unlock buttons there, remote start, and the ability to open up the trunk with the key. You also have a panic button down here. You have the bow tie on the back, and you have a physical key on the inside there, just in case you need to access that for whatever reason, like say if the battery goes dead or whatever. Now the key is designed to basically stay in your pocket. So I put the key in my pocket, and in order to lock and unlock the door, all you have to do is, with the key close to the vehicle, within a close proximity, is to push this button. This will lock it. So now the vehicle is locked. You push it again to unlock it, and it unlocks. So as long as you have the key with you, you can lock and unlock the doors without fumbling with keys or anything. So here's the inside of the passenger door, and look at this design. It's just really amazing. The contours there, you have that space there dished out on the side of the door for your body and arm to go. All soft to the touch surfaces. You have a French stitching, contrast stitching right here. This is a hard plastic, but down in here you have all soft to the touch. You have some more stitching there at the bottom. You have a premium Bose sound system. There's a pad there, soft to the touch, kind of keep you comfortable. Neat little pocket right here to put something, and then you have another pocket down here for some stuff there as well. There's your threshold with the Camaro emblem, and also the name has a little bit of a texture, and hopefully you can see. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video of this at night where you can actually see the backlit Camaro is backlit at night. That's really awesome. So you have a power adjustable seat here on the passenger side, and check out these seats. You have the SS actual emblem in the seat right there that's kind of recessed so you don't feel it on your back, and then you have some stitching everywhere. The headrest is kind of in a forward position for safety, and then you have a perforated, heated and cooled seats here with the stitching everywhere, the French stitching design. Really awesome. Plenty of legroom over here. I mean, you could be super tall, an NBA player or whatever, and get in this vehicle. Now the seat is all the way back, so you give you an idea of the actual legroom you'd have here in the front. You have some stitching here on the dash. And check out these vents. You can open them and close them. Lockable glove compartment, and it's a smooth plastic on the inside, so you can clean it out easy and you know, organize it. You know how glove compartments get cluttered. You have a padded, like a knee rest there with the stitching on it. 12-volt power supply there, easy to get to. Now the back seat is very comfortable as long as you have some leg room. Now with the seats all the way back, you can see it completely eliminates your leg room. So the front passenger will have to compromise their seat position for that. So just keep that in mind. The back seats are there, they're comfortable, they're nicely bolstered. You have the cool design just like the front, and the seats do fold down. It's a one piece. The back piece there with that strap will fold down, which I'll show you what it looks like from the back, so you can add to your cargo space. The fuel door is on the passenger side, and it is a capless design, so you just put the nozzle in there, pump your gas, and you don't have to worry about a cap. So let's go ahead and take a look here in the back. And one thing before I go too much further, I want to mention this has a magnetic adjustable suspension to where it instantly it scans the road surface as you're driving. Well, it doesn't scan the road surface, it scans what the dampers are actually doing 1,000 times a second, and adjusts the dampers, which are the shocks, basically to match the road conditions, and it can change them up to 1,000 times a second as you're driving. So it's an amazing ride experience. So here in the back, you can see it has the pretty awesome spoiler that's not too high up or cheesy looking. That curved around there. And check out those taillights. LED taillights, by the way. You have the dual exhaust, so you can let that 6.2 liter rumble. You have some parking sensors across here in the back, and you also have a backup camera hidden under here near the license plate. Okay, so the remote start is basically you lock the doors and then you push and hold this. So to open up the trunk, we'll go ahead and look in there using the key here. Pops open like that, and you just kind of lift it up. So here's your cargo space. The opening isn't the biggest in the world, but once you get in there, once you start putting your luggage or whatever in there, it's really roomy. It goes in quite a ways and expands out on the right and left a little bit there. And it's all, you know, covered up. There's no wires or anything like that exposed. It's completely covered up. And then back in here, you have your seats. Once you fold your seats down, it really expands the length of your cargo space. So if you need some extra, you know, space back there and you don't have any backseat drivers, you can fold the seat down and get some more cargo space. So under here, there is no spare tire. Now, I don't know if a spare tire is an option on this model, but this one does not have a spare tire. You have your tow hook there and some little bit of storage space, your amplifier for your radio, but there's actually no spare tire. But it does have the run flat tires to compensate for that. So instead of using the remote start, to start the vehicle, you just put your foot on the brake, push this button. So here on the floorboard, on the driver's side, you have the accelerator, brake pedal, and you notice the accelerator goes all the way to the floor, so it doesn't, you don't have anything to get in the way and get snagged underneath there. Very roomy, and you have the place for your left foot there when you're driving, which is a must for me anyway. So let's go ahead and take a look under the hood, check out the engine. To open the hood, there's a little latch just a little tiny bit to the left of center, and you move it to the right and you lift it up just a little bit and it goes up the rest of the way by itself. You can see those air inlets there to kind of help get some airflow under the hood. Very light hood too. So there it is. Checking it out. Okay, so what we have underneath that plastic cover is a 6.2 liter V8 direct injection, 455 horsepower, 455 pound-feet of torque as well. Just an amazing engine. Now it's mated to an 8-speed electronically controlled transmission. Let's take a look on the inside of the driver's door. Sweet styling, just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. You can see here at the bottom, you have a button to open up the trunk. You have automatic on both sides, the power windows. Side mirrors are controlled right here. You have presets for your power seat, as well as an exit mode. Lock and unlock buttons there. Really like the styling. Can't get over it. That metallic accents, the overall just angles and everything. Super impressive to me. So there's your threshold. You have the illuminated backlit Camaro name and emblem. Power adjustable seat here on the driver's side as well. Let's go ahead and check out the HUD display. So right there, as you're driving, you have the option of having some information right there in front of you that doesn't impede with your visibility. So right now, we'll see if we can adjust it here. We can go up and down with it, fine tune it. We can adjust the brightness up and down. Let me go ahead and fade it down so you can see what I'm talking about. And go back up. So right now it's showing the digital speedometer, but you can get some more information. I can have your digital compass. In addition, we can have an RPMs with the digital speedometer, which is pretty cool. And then you can go back to just a digital speedometer. I think I like that display. That looks pretty cool. But it does kind of, you know, get in the way a little bit more than the other, just a regular speedometer. But of course you can lower it down or whatever if you want to. So let's go ahead and take a look here on the inside. Really epic view from the driver's seat, that's for sure. Have plenty of leg room. The knee room is adequate, and just an amazing car. So let's go ahead and start here on the steering wheel. It's a leather wrapped steering wheel with some stitching here on the inside. And as you can see here, you have the perforations on the edge, and then the smooth leather here at the bottom with the SS. You have a flat bottom steering wheel, which is all sporty looking. You have the sporty looking bolsters here. You can extend your grip up here, or you can kind of drive like that. It's very comfortable, and it gives a little bit so you can push in on the steering wheel. Good thickness so it doesn't dig into your hand. Overall, just a super high quality feeling steering wheel. So you'll notice it has quite a few buttons. So here on the right is a volume for your radio. Here on the left is to cycle through your favorites. So once you have set up your favorites on your radio, you can cycle through those. Here on the left side here is your cruise control. You just turn it on and you can set it, change through your speeds, resume, and you can cancel by pushing that again. Heated steering wheel control. So you can push that and you'll see a little light that illuminates when you have it on. That's super handy in the winter time. If you've never experienced a heated steering wheel on a cold day, it's just an amazing experience. Here on the right side is your Bluetooth controls. So you can answer calls, hang up on calls here. You can also make calls using the voice recognition. So once you pair your phone, you can push this button and say a certain particular name, like Lee Forrest. You can say, call Lee Forrest. And it'll call them up. As long as Lee Forrest is in your phone book, it'll go ahead and just call them up. Really handy, and a good safety feature too, because you're keeping your hands on the wheel while you're staying productive. So really like that. So these buttons here correspond with the screen here between the gauges, which we'll get to in just a minute. Now you have the pedal shifters for your 8-speed transmission here behind the steering wheel, so you can really get sporty and cycle through the gears if you want. You can up and down shift. Here on the right side is your windshield wiper controls. Here on the left is your headlight controls. You have an automatic, you have a off, automatic, parking lights, and your headlights on there. Really like the automatic feature, that's handy. Your HUD controls are here on the left. Like I showed you, you have the HUD up and down, the brightness, basically the screen will go up and down, and then the info is the change the different cycle through the different screens. So you can go up and down. That's how the way the buttons work. So here's your gauge cluster. You have RPMs here on the left, speedometer there on the right that goes up to 200 miles an hour. Isn't that awesome? And then here you have some digital gauges right here on the top. Oil pressure, engine coolant temperature, fuel gauge, and your battery voltage. Now right here in the center you have a digital speedometer and your odometer. Now you can cycle through and get some more information using these buttons here on the right. So that's what this is for. So let's go ahead and kind of cycle through so you can see what I'm talking about. So your digital speedometer is there, and then you have your trip A, which will give you your average miles per gallon and your average speed as well as the miles traveled. You can reset it like that by pushing the right arrow. Going down, this will be trip B, and then your fuel range, like how long you can drive before you have to get gas. Now this vehicle runs on 8 cylinders or 4 cylinders to save you gas. So right now the instant V8 is just kind of letting you know what you're driving on there, and then your fuel economy. Remaining oil life, when it's time to change oil, lets you know. Tire pressure in each tire. And you can you don't actually have to go and check that all the time. It'll let you know if one of them's out of spec. And this is where you get your fuel economy, your average. See, right now it's skewed because it's just sitting in the parking lot. This is just giving you your last 50 miles to give you an idea of how you're driving. And this is how much fuel you actually used in the given time. So, and of course this is a new car, so this is all and the speed limit, it'll kind of let you know if the navigation system knows the speed limit, it'll let you know there. And engine hours, idle hours, and scrolls back to the digital speedometer. So all this information, you don't actually have to cycle through and look at it all the time, but it's there in case you need it. Okay, now I don't know if you're noticing this, but you have, hopefully I'll be able to show you this car at night, because you have this ambient light, and right now it's changing colors. So you can see, I think you can see it here on the door best. It's kind of like a pink color now, red, and it kind of slowly is changing. Maybe you can see it here in the cup holders too. But it's kind of cycling through different colors. And this is something that you can actually change. So like now it's green. Hopefully you can see that. But anyways, hopefully I'll show you that at night. That's a whole nother video, is a nighttime video showing you the interior and exterior lighting. Okay, so here's your touchscreen, and it's pretty cool the way it angles down like that to avoid glare from like the sun and stuff. But this is like your home screen. You have your outside temperature, your clock there, and you can go into these particular screens. So this is your audio screen. So this is like your radio. You have your presets there at the bottom, favorites. You also have the icons here at the top as well when you're in particular screens. So let's go back to the home button. Phone, check that out. Once you pair your phone, you have access to recent calls, your contacts, and you can pair more than one phone. And it does this on a priority system. So if you have one at a higher priority than the other, then that one will be used. Let's go to the home button here. Now projection, this is where you will pair your Apple CarPlay system. So if you have an Apple product, you can install Apple CarPlay and you can use that particular feature. If you have Android Auto, it'll install that particular feature. So it all depends on what phone you're actually using, and you could use both. But this is what this projection is right here. So there's no device connected right now, so I can't really go into that. Your navigation screen, right now it's showing a night mode because I have the shade covering up the light sensor here, but this is what the navigation looks like. And you can, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So we're sitting at KUHN Chevrolet in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can see the ocean over there, you can see all the roads. So really cool. And you can of course put in a specific destination, an address, a recent destination. You can have contacts, stuff like that. Alright, so there's tons of settings you can go into, and I'm going to just kind of scroll through so you can get an idea. It has a valet mode for a reason, since there's so much horsepower. Pandora's internet radio service. You can play music through that app if you want to. Weather, you can get 5-day, hourly, en route, different locations. You can even have a map. Let's see what it looks like here. It's pretty much a clear day. Well, I guess it's not that clear. You can see some clouds out there out over the ocean. So and also you can do voice to text. So if somebody's saying you can receive a text message, you can also respond with certain commands. So this is a really good safety feature too. So that's kind of a rundown of the basics of the touchscreen on the main features there. You do have some more, like your OnStar, of course. You can adjust your lighting, your light strips. I'll go into the lighting in a night video, so we'll save that for later. Okay, so down here you have the home button. You saw me using that. You have a back button as well, depending on what screen you're in, and you have this volume for your radio, so you can adjust your volume. This will also adjust the voice recognition system, the volume of that, and then you can change through different audio depending on what you're playing, sources there or tracks. So right here you have this long bar, and you have your heated and cooled seats for the driver, heated and cooled seats over here for the passenger, and then right here is your climate control. Now your actual temperatures is pretty cool. It's around these vents, so I can adjust my temperature using this. Now it's a dual zone, so you have the driver and passenger separate from each other, so they can adjust those separately. And then you have a fan speed here where you want the air to blow. You can sync them to where they're not separate anymore. You can have an automatic. You set the temperature and let it do its thing, recirculate the air there, and you have your front and rear defrosters right in here. So I really like the way they have these dials around the vents. That's really cool. Good space-saving design. You have your 4-way flashers there. Neat little storage pockets right in here, like you could throw your key or whatever right in this little area around the outside. So here's your shifter. Really sporty looking shifter. You have the perforated leather with the metallic portion here and here, and then the stitching on the boot. Really awesome. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can see what the backup camera looks like. You can see it's really high clarity, colorful backup camera. You can high resolution, so you can see what's going on. You can see from the bumper all the way to the sky and all the way around, so you can see as much as possible. Plus, when you turn the steering wheel, you can see those guidelines will move to kind of help you out with your trajectory there. Scrolling down here, not scrolling down, shifting down, there's neutral, there's drive. This is your normal drive position, and see if you can see that design on the top of this shifter. It's looking pretty cool. Okay, so your normal drive position will cycle through the 8 gear ratios automatically. Now if you wanted to manually use the kind of a ratchet shifter, you can put it in this position. You can cycle through the gears, so then you'll know what gear you're in. You can go to first and second, but it won't let you shift out of second sitting still. And I can actually feel the gear shifting, which is pretty interesting. Okay, and at any time you can always go back to the normal drive mode there. So right here is your traction control. You can turn that off. Default is always on, but if you need to spin tires, you want to go ahead and turn that off. Now your drive mode is right here. See, it says mode. I'm going to kind of cycle through and show you what I'm talking about. So you have your snow and ice, track, sport, and touring. Touring will give you the smoothest, comfortable ride. Sport will give you a little bit more of a sporty feel to the suspension and the steering and everything. And the track is just totally off-road, you know, ready to go. And the snow and ice will like start off in second gear, I believe it is, and give you an easy starting. It's not going to, you know, it's going to try to maintain as much traction as possible. So I'm going to leave it on sport, so whoever drives it's going to have fun. Okay, so you have an electric parking brake, and you lift it up to engage it, and it'll tell you right here that it's on, and you push it down to disengage it. And this actuates in the back wheels. And then you have a 12-volt power supply here. Cup holders are here, and it has this cool accent, and you notice there's a wide opening here in the center to allow for the use of this of other things besides just cups, like your cell phone or whatever. It has this metallic accent too. You have a larger size and then a smaller size. Okay, so here's your armrest, and it's a really comfortable. It has a little tiny section for the passengers so they won't gripe. You actually have a place for them to put their elbow. But here on the driver's side, it's nice and smooth and comfortable to, you know, rest your arm, and it's not too soft. It's kind of like a rubbery feel, but it's just really contoured nice for your arm. And this lifts up, and you have a storage space in here, and you can see in there's two USBs and auxiliary input. That's for playing music through the sound system, as well as charging things. So you can charge your cell phone or whatever. So behind the console is a wireless charger, so you can actually put your cell phone there and charge your wireless cell phone, wireless charging capable cell phone. And it's right there back out of the way, and I like the way they kind of, you know, put it there so it's not getting in the way, since the space is a little bit limited here in the front. This is also accessible for the rear passengers as well, so it's kind of in the center so everybody can access it. So that's pretty neat. So you have a really cool looking auto dimming rear view mirror. Now it's auto dimming because I have the shade over the light sensor, and also the driver's side rear view mirror auto dims as well, but not the passenger side. But really cool looking. It goes almost to the edge, the actual reflection, and then you have like a roadside assistance button here, and then you have a SOS and OnStar. These are all to communicate with OnStar. Now I'm not sure about the SOS. Some of the vehicles, if you push that, it'll actually dial 911. I don't think this actually does that, but you do have those, you know, emergency options there. Right up here is your HomeLink garage door openers, in case you can pair them to your garage door and open up your garage door. You also have some LED lights here, if you can have individually. And here's the controls for your sunroof. So your sunroof is right up here, and it actually has a shade to close all the sun if you need that. You can open it up. You can vent it, or you can open it up all the way. Let's see if it'll go up anymore. That's as far as it'll go there. There's the vent position there. So your visors have these little mirrors and little lights. You notice they come on really slow. They kind of slowly turn on. Their LEDs, 3 on each side, looking pretty good. See that again, slowly turn on. I think that's pretty cool. You have small visors, and the visors will, when you put them out this way, they'll kind of slide out to kind of help you know, block the sun. But of course, if you're driving in your Camaro, you're gonna have your shades on anyway, so you won't need the visors that much, but it does have them. Okay, so let's take a look at the visibility here in the back. See if I can get you a good angle here, because it has a kind of a small slanted glass back there. So, and you have significant blind spots there on the corners. So you really need to pay attention there. Now with the backup camera and the side mirrors and everything, it does, you know, help out with that. Now, in addition to that, since it has these, you know, considerable blind spots there on the sides, it has a blind spot monitoring system. So hopefully you can see here on the side mirror, it has this little little car looking thing with a little star next to it. This will actually illuminate when there's somebody in your blind spot as you're driving. So that way, if you're driving along and that's illuminated, it's on both sides, both mirrors, then you know somebody's in your blind spot. So this helps out with that blind spot problem back there. Now, it's not a huge problem, but this really helps out with, you know, not sideswiping somebody. Alrighty, so there you have it, 2016 Chevrolet Camaro and the 2SS Coupe. Let's go ahead and look at the window sticker so you can get all the information here with the pause button, of course, because I know you're not that fast of a reader. Look at that, 28 on the highway. Isn't that crazy? Because it uses the multi-displacement system, cylinder deactivation. Alright, so there you have it. I really appreciate you watching, and thank you to KUHN Chevrolet in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for allowing me to show off an awesome car, and I'll see you guys next time. Keep an eye out. Hopefully I'll do a night video.